Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy, the Bibliotech Nerd, and today we're going to be looking at the second part of Batman Hush, more specifically chapter 4-6, and then that should wrap up the first half of the story arc. Similar to yesterday, I'm going to have a short summary at the start, and then a little opinion piece at the end, but be warned, today will be a lot more spoiler intensive, as there's some pretty cool plot points in this part of the book. So let's get down to it. Chapter 4, The City. A strong start with a flashback to Bruce and Thomas Elliot as kids in Metropolis, seeing a fight between the Green Lantern of then and the villain Icicle. This is pretty sweet. I want to get back to it later in the opinion piece. After dropping in on Lois Lane at the Daily Planet, the main purpose of the visit to the city is to question the current head of LexCorp, Talia al Ghul. The night doesn't end there though, as Batman rendezvous with Catwoman to take on Poison Ivy. This is no easy feat, and the pair have to escape from the confrontation, as Ivy had an ace up her sleeve. The big blue Boy Scout had been enthralled by her seductive powers and was now ready to put a beatdown on the Batman. Moving on to Chapter 5, The Battle. Pure adrenaline-inducing action with no hope of winning. Batman has to resort using a kryptonite ring to even the odds. Even so, the only way to end the fight was to get Catwoman to throw Lois off the top of a building to snap Superman out of his servitude. Next up was them going to confront Ivy once again. We even see Crypto join in on finding Ivy, though he kind of seems a little weird addition to the tone of this comic. Once again, the mysterious bandage boy is observing the Bat with his binoculars. The chapter ends with Bruce and Selina going to see a very exciting opera that doesn't quite stick to the script, so spoiler alert soon. Chapter 6, The Opera. This is of course due to the arrival of Harley Quinn and a couple of goons. With some fantastic acrobatics and some spring-loaded shoes, she traverses around the room, stealing a variety of jewellery from people. The Bat always has a spare suit with him, so it's not long till Harley's party is rudely interrupted. As such, Harley gives both Catwoman and Batman a pretty good ass whooping while making her escape. The finale of this is quite good, as we come upon a scene of Joker laughing in the rain behind the theatre. A rather tragic scene. Wink wink. I may not say what it is, but I also may just put up the picture of it, so spoilers alert. So that concludes the short summary part of the video, and now I'm going to look at the little opinion piece. Starting once again with the mystery element. We're not quite sure what the major plotline of the comic is yet. All we know is that there is a lot of villains doing a number of things in such a short period of time, with this mysterious bandage boy, which Batman hasn't yet seen, but we've kind of been given the obvious hint they're likely to be the main villain, and of course we also know from the cover pieces that yes, he eventually is the big villain. This once again covers the idea of mystery. Who is that? We want to know. Why are all these things happening? And you know, we want to make order out of the chaos that is currently happening to Batman right now. Now, quickly before I forget, the scene with the Green Lantern and the Icicle. The fact that it's done in the artwork that they're using currently for the flashbacks for Bruce and Thomas Elliot, it's just it really is striking, the kind of grey overtone, or light grey, but then you have the green from the lantern and just the blue from the Icicle. It's really striking and kind of cool to see it being done. And keeping on with the Green Lantern and the Icicle, so far there's a lot of characters that have been brought in. So, of course, we have Batman, then we have Catwoman, Killer Croc, Ivy, we've got Lantern, Icicle, Superman, then we also have Lois. You know, it's, Talia al Ghul, of course. It's very cool for them to bring in all these characters, of course, with the finale being Harley Quinn and Joker. But at the same time, bringing in so many characters doesn't destroy the character building of Batman and Catwoman alone, because normally when you put in too many characters, or if you ever seen in a movie, too many main characters on the screen kind of crowds up the scene. Not many people are able to further develop their character, but I think the addition of these characters, in fact, are used to further develop Batman and Catwoman instead of overcrowd the general comic. So that gets a thumbs up for me for the character building and bringing all these awesome characters in. Moving on to the action, it is absolutely epic. I'm quite a big fan of Superman, and it is really awesome to see him being absolutely wrecked. Well, not really wrecked, but a right hook, or maybe it was a left, I can't actually remember now, with the kryptonite ring was just fantastic. I think in the short span of this scene, it was far better action than the action that we got from Batman vs Superman the movie. It was just more realistic. We have a far more aggressive Superman, laser beams all over the place, and you know, it's not really ruined by the whole I'm gonna spear you and I'm gonna shout Martha and then we're best buds. On top of that, the scene with Harley Quinn absolutely shooting up the opera and bullets flying everywhere, whizzing past everyone. I'm pretty sure quite a few people would have actually been killed in the background, though, you know, we'll pretend that they didn't actually die. So the action, once again, gets a 10 out of 10, thumbs up, would get beat down again. And yeah, it was pretty good. Now moving on to the art, once again, pretty good spreads. I really like how they did the way Superman is enthralled by Ivy, the darkness around him. Some of the shots with Batman on the train, for example, it's just really iconic pieces of him flying down with his cape, then Catwoman in front. So very striking, very cool, iconic, and just general good job, I suppose. So moving on to the most important part, I think, personally, of the first part of Hush. Catwoman being injured was a proper way to show more depth of character for Batman. You know, as I said earlier, this spicy kiss, you know, wasn't there for nothing. Now Harley Quinn gave a proper beatdown to Catwoman. It wasn't a serious fall, but it was still enough to injure her, and it just kind of shows more of Batman's emotional side. Now I know that kind of sounds weird, Batman's emotional side, but it's a good story arc kind of trope that's, you know, general, the same way that is how do I explain this, Romeo and Juliet. It's universal in a sense. It transcends time. So although the Bat is this dark, brooding character, you know, super smart, always on top of things, he is still a man after all. So seeing him being hurt by seeing Catwoman hurt, in a sense, you know, he does have emotions for her now. It's not just him. He has to think about other people at the same time. Normally this would take like a very long time to do in a book, but we were given the kiss. We know that there's something between him and Catwoman. It's not a solitary thing anymore. And then all of a sudden we have this kind of, not really tragic, but tragic enough to him that he is affected by it. Whether like we're able to see it properly or not, we're given the hint that he is affected, and he's holding down well, not he's holding down, he's holding Catwoman in his hands. And then straight after the scene in the alleyway with the Joker, it's really kind of a huge hammer blow to put in the last nail of the coffin and just kind of traumatically damage him to a certain extent. So this story building gets a thumbs up from me. It's really good, well done, and I quite enjoyed it, and it's something different, I suppose. And that's the end of the opinion side of this video. Let me know what you think. Maybe you disagree, or maybe you agree. Maybe you have other points that you might want to bring up. Put them in the comment section below. I'll see if I can, you know, respond as soon as I can. And then hopefully you enjoy this video. I'll do a Hush, the second part of the arc, hopefully next weekend, and I'll post those videos up. Today I'm going to do Detective Comics, so hopefully I'll have that up as well today, or probably tomorrow, depending how quick I'm able to do it. So give me a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe, I suppose, or leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.